Religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why are you turning away? Don't you know that you're going to meet him tomorrow? Don't you know that in that grave, those two angels, Munkar and Nakir, they're going to sit you up and they're going to say, Mar Rabbuk, who is your Lord? But if you didn't know Allah in this life, you think you're going to be able to answer in the grave? They're going to say, and what is your religion? If you didn't practice Islam in this world, do you think that you're going to be able to say my religion is Islam in the hereafter? Because it's just lip service. It's just lip service. I say La ilaha illallah, but I go and I worship the devil with my actions. I say La ilaha illallah, but I don't do what Allah has commanded and I don't stay away from that which He has forbidden. And then I say, yes, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is my prophet and my messenger. But I don't follow him. I follow my own desires. I do what I want. Ya ikhwan, if we don't live the answers to those three questions in this world, we're not going to be able to answer them in the grave. And I want to finish by mentioning one hadith, just to remind us about the true reality. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he told us that when one of us dies, when one of us is on our deathbeds, angels come down and they sit for as far as the eye can see. We can't see them, but the angels come down and they sit in front of that person. If he was a person who worshipped Allah, he committed no shirk, he didn't associate partners with Allah, he followed the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Do you know what those angels are like? They have faces as bright as the sun, and they come with a fine smell, fine scent. And they come with a shroud from the shrouds of paradise, and they sit in front of him. And then the angel of death comes and he says, "Oh good soul, oh pure soul, come out to the mercy of Allah and His forgiveness." So that person's soul leaves his body in an easy way. And then the angels ascend to the heavens with that soul. And as they ascend, all of the angels of the heavens, they say, "Who is this? Who is this person?" And then they say, "This is so and so," and they will mention you by your name. They will mention you by your name, and they will say, "This is so and so, the son of so and so," and then they will call you by the best of names that you are known by. So if people said, "He's trustworthy, he's truthful, he's really kind, he's really generous, he's really loving," the angels will call you by those names. And then Allah will say, "Take my slave and put him back into the earth. From there I created him, and from there I shall resurrect him." But if it's the opposite case, ya ikhwan, if you said La ilaha illallah, but you were too busy fulfilling your whims and your desires, you turned away from the remembrance of Allah, you thought, I'll start practicing tomorrow. How many of us think this? I'm going to start practicing, I'll go on Hajj when I'm 60, for now I'll live up the life, I'll live the good life, and I'll listen to the music, the movies, and the fornication, and the alcohol, and the interest, I'll do all of that. But when I'm 60, then I'll go on Hajj. And then people will call me Haji Saab. People will call me Haji Saab, and I'll go little white beard, and everybody will say he's so pious, and then I'll turn back to Allah at that stage. Who has promised you that you're going to live till tomorrow? Forget 60 years. Who's promised you that you're going to be alive tomorrow? Who's promised you you're going to be alive in 5 minutes time? Nobody has promised us, ya ikhwan. So that angel, if the person was a disbeliever or he was turning away from the remembrance of Allah, the angels come down and they sit in front of him. And they have evil, black faces, scary faces. And they come with a stinking stench, worse than any of the smells that we have on this world. And then they come and the angel of death sits at his soul. And he says, "Oh evil soul, come out to the anger of Allah and His punishment." And when that person's soul hears that, it hides in his body and it tries to run away. "I don't want to have my soul ripped out." And the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that that person's soul is ripped away, ripped out of his body like a hooked skewer being passed through wet wool. The way it rips away at that wool, this is how his soul is going to be ripped out of his body. And then it's taken up. He is taken up to the heavens, the same as the first person. And the angels, they knock on the doors of the Jannah and they seek the permission to enter. And then the people in the paradise, the angels ask, "Who is it that is seeking permission to enter?" And the angels say, "It is so and so, the son of so and so."